about two others. Can we call? Oh, Zach said it well. Can we call for some resolution to the secret meeting thing? And don't forget about love.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Rose. Okay, now forgive me if I'm going out of order. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll just go like this. So, because you've been staying a long time, and I know you've been waiting. And then Evan. Okay, we have three people. James, thank you for waiting.
For me, a couple things come out of this. It is the media can misconstrue things. I don't believe that. I think they came up with their own headline, which is a very damaging headline. And I think it's really important for us. I know we couldn't come to consensus on Wednesday night about what we want to do in terms of having contact with the city council and the police, but we have had a certain spokesperson. We're not going to have that. I think there's a lot of feeling that we shouldn't have that person here tonight. However, we're going to have to portray ourselves to the media, to the city council, to the police in some way, and the police may now have a misconstrued perception of us. So my thing, I don't know if it's a proposal, but is that soon we come to some sort of consensus on how we will portray ourselves, whether it's a response to this article or not, and have developed, we've had good relations with the police, and I think continuing that, it's just my personal opinion, is really, really important, and especially in light of this article. That's what what I really felt when I read it.
Okay,
so
thank you, Jane. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes.
Thought you might like to have a perspective from quote-unquote an outsider. I haven't been here like you guys have, and I think it's a wonderful thing. First off, thank you for doing this.
Oh, give us a round of applause. We needed that. Thank you.
All over the country are
Encouragement. Thank you.
completely into
Thank you.
this. I will be here more often. First off, I'm very sorry about the way the article went down, that you were part of it, and that they misquoted and gave the wrong information. As an outsider, I read things in the paper. There were both sides presented in the article, and I think it's not quite as bad as it may look to someone like you that's on the inside reading it. That a lot of people outside are reading this as part of the Daily Progress, as part of anything else, and for the most part, it's advertisement that it's going on, that someone cares enough to write an article about it. It is a shame that they misquoted and misconstrued, but I think in the long run, it's not as bad as you think.
Great. Thank you for perspective.
In my opinion.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so then Evan, and then you've been waiting a long time. I'm very sorry. Let him go.
Okay. I wanted to second that. I don't come here that often, but second the opinion. In my perspective, it is much less terrible. I don't think it's radioactive. First of all, the readers of the Daily Progress are very low. I'm going to show you this. It's true. It's true. That's why they give away free subscriptions. But honestly, it's very, very low.
I don't have that.
It's just like sort of statistical. And then, so I just wanted to say that as like the most important thing, as like a perspective check, that there are many different forms of media, and people sort of shape what they want to see, So I don't think this article would have swayed anyone either way. Also, I've listened to the TJU broadcast today, which was so cool, so rad. Talking about people, and what the initial talk was about, how there was no media coverage of this when it started, and like, look how great this is doing. So it's you know what I mean. So, but just to keep it all in check. Because I think there's one issue, there's obviously internal factions, like Frank said, which is totally natural. I'm sorry. Conflict, unrest, totally natural. That's like, it would be weird if there weren't.
Exactly.
That's totally natural, right? And then the second thing, though, is checking yourself about essentially what is ego. And that's ego both of who is perceived as an attacker, who is perceived as a victim. Because honestly, like I said, Daily Progress, no one reads it. And honestly, at the end of the day, our lives are very, very, singularly, very meaningless. It's as a collective that we're very powerful. So the idea of a newspaper article like this to come in and crack and break and split, that's exactly what people want to have happen outside of this movement. So I just wanted to encourage people that it's not as bad as it might seem, and that the movement is doing really well. I think it's an accomplishment that it's here today, and that to essentially sort of obviously let the internal conflicts be resolved, but don't fool yourself into thinking that you're such a big personality or that you mean something that this actually matters.
Thank you so much.
Warm and fuzzy now. I don't even
Okay, well, Evan, on this crowd, I know you had a direct response, so hopefully if you want to, or if you want to say whatever.
How do you not have a coda?
I'm wearing like 3 shirts.
So it seems to me like there's two separate groups of people responding negatively towards this particular article. In the first group, Shannon, Larry, her is disappointed in me personally, and to respond to that group, I would say I'm really sorry if that hurt your feelings. I call them as I see them. I was an intel analyst in the Army. I've been here quite a bit, and I call them as I see them. And I didn't claim to speak on behalf of anyone other than me. In fact, I specifically had a problem with the fact that before in the newspaper they were calling me protest organizers, and I had a problem with that, so I made them take that out. So I went to very specific lengths to make that clear. So I'm sorry if that hurt you guys. The second group that has a problem with this article is really freaking out, and I think it's because it's calling them out, basically, because it hurt their faction, because it hurt their feelings that perhaps they're...
Excuse me. I thought we were always respectful.
Anyway,
continuing on. So it seems to me like the second group of people who is really pissed off about this article.
No, I would say they're concerned. I would let you, they're not angry. They're voicing their concern.
Well, they're angry enough
as
to
their
call for me to
reflection.
get kicked out of the group. So
I don't think that that's necessarily a proposal. Now we're going to just take a step back again and breathe. Seriously, I'm not to interrupt you, Evan. Hold on. I just think it's important when certain things come